All
What you
right,
got, guy?
let's do it. The WWE apparently is having some budget restrictions. So Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics, I believe, is the one that broke this report that the morale backstage within WWE employees is not very good, and it has to do with a bunch of things being cut, a bunch of benefits being cut for or from the WWE employees, which is it's pretty crazy to even say this because we hear Triple H reporting constantly, especially after PLEs are hitting record breaking gates. They're breaking all these records. They're making all this money. The $5 billion deal with Netflix. Saudi Arabia is paying WWE fucking millions of dollars yearly. And
50 million a
W-
show.
yeah, so WWE is making money left and right. Like, but their employees, Brandon Thurston, put it in this report that he's been in contact with some WWE employees who are not happy working for WWE right now. There's been a lot of changes since WWE did the TKO merger, that's impacted employees in a negative way, such as reduced benefits, minimal raises, increase workloads. Some of the WWE employees are also working, doing projects with the UFC and other companies that Endeavor owns. Like I think they're working on owning the PBR, the bull riding company. So
Mm-hmm.
a lot of employees think, hey, once Endeavor or TKO gets their hands on that, we're probably going to be working for them also, not just WWE stuff. They can't the WWE employees can't purchase stocks anymore, which before
Really?
they used to be able to do that. Yeah, before WWE employees were able to purchase stocks at a 15% discount.
Yeah.
Now they're not allowed to do that at all. And the stock for WWE is really high right now. So the WWE employees are not happy about that. Um, Another big one is no more complimentary tickets. So before WWE used to give their employees tickets to hand out to family and friends or whatever, they stopped doing that completely. When it comes to the raises, only 3% uh, of increases were given to the employees,
That's just a
which
cost of living increase.
yeah, so not
Mm-hmm.
even. I think cost of living is a lot higher than what they're actually getting,
Mhm.
especially if you live like in the New York area in Connecticut, fucking
Mm-hmm.
expensive as hell. Um, but yeah, so all these things are being taken away. When it comes to like raises, only like the big wigs are getting all this money,
Of course.
like Triple H got like 5 million from the TKO deal. Nick Khan got 15 million. Things like that. But I guess the mid to lower level employees are really taking the big hit when it comes to this. So WWE staff not happy, you guys. Are we surprised though?
No.
No,
And
not
this
at
is the
all.
problem is that for the last 5 years, probably every single year has been a record breaking year for them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they have they're more valuable now and have more revenue now than they ever have before. And the fact that they're cutting perks for their employees is kind of shitty. Like I would understand if they were struggling financially. Say, look, guys, well, we promise your paychecks will be here. But we got to cut these things down. You know, that might be excusable, but to have more money than you've ever had and then start taking the fun part of working for WWE away, it's kind of shitty.
I agree with that. Clarify something for me, Edgar, if you could.
Hmm?
Um, is this WWE making this call, or is this TKO making this call for the WWE branch of the company?
From what I gathered, it sounds like this is more on TKO because
Okay, so this is
ever since they did the merger, WWE merged with TKO. This is when all of these things started happening.
Well,
okay.
that's
So they're
not
saying
true because Nick Khan was trimming plenty before TKO came along. We just heard about the wrestling releases, but I don't know.
well, the reason I say that is because if this is coming from WWE's owners, I mean, you can't really fault WWE for this. I mean, yeah, Nick Khan could stand up and say something about it, but at the end of the day, you know, one man owns the biggest entertainment of this fucking planet with UFC and WWE at this point. And if he says, y'all have gotten too cushy, we're going to take some shit away, who's going to stop him?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, yes, Nick Khan can go to bat for him. Triple H can go to bat for him. Hell, just roid up Brock Lesnar and send him into a fucking production meeting for fucking TKO. Get what you want then. But as far as employees being unhappy with it, I can understand it. But at the same time, it's not a WWE call. This is a TKO call. This is a call above WWE. And sometimes you got to eat shit and like the taste of it.
Yeah, the other thing too that according to Brandon Thurston, that employees that he's been communicating with are saying that they're now working 50 to 60 hours a week as compared to like the regular 40 hours that they usually do. Um
Whether they're being
Even this one.
compensated for it or not, whether they're on salary or hourly, it's still compelling people to work an additional 20 hours a week. That's fucking crazy.
mm,
Well, as somebody that does work 50 to 60 hours a week, you get no sympathy from me.
mm. Yeah, I'm just I mean, I'm not surprised by any of this. I mean, I am, but I'm not. I am because in the sense like kind of what Dark was saying, these guys right now, the WWE, TKO, whatever, they're making more money than ever. So now you would think, okay, now would be a time where they probably start taking a little bit better care of their people. It's actually the opposite, at least it seems that way. But also, w- when you're working for a major fucking corporation this way, it's like the bigger that these companies get, it's kind of like the whole thing that happens. Like you see, like the Amazon employees are always striking. They always
Mm-hmm.
got something to say because they work for this big ass company. So I'm surprised about this, but then again, at the same hand, like I'm not. But like, I mean,
Well, the
what
problem
what do
is
you do?
there comes a point, I believe, where a company feels like the fact that you work for them is perk enough.
Mhm.
But these are hourly and salaried employees. If they don't get perks, it's just another office job. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing to do with the entertainment or the wrestling. It's just an office job. And yeah, I understand that if they're getting paid, they need to do their job. But at that point, it's no different from working anywhere else.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
the other thing too that I'm starting to wonder. In the because there's multiple articles about this. It just said staff and employees. It didn't specify like what kind of jobs these people had. The ones that were talking to the media, by reading the list of all the different perks that are being taken away, this could also mean talent because I mean, if you take away, I can see them taking these things away, not just from the office people, but also the talent, not that much raises. I don't know if it applies to everyone or just the office people. That's what I would like to
I could
know.
see that the no comp tickets could apply to the wrestlers. But otherwise, they're contracted for X pay for years, so the raises really wouldn't be that impactful for them.
Yeah. Plus, whenever we've talked about WWE in the past, or even just pro wrestling companies in the past, there's always been that definitive line between employees and talent. And whenever they were talking about one or the other, they made sure to say our talent is blah blah blah, or our employees are blah blah blah. Um, Now, as far as it just being another office job, here's the thing about that: with more of a workload per law, you need to renegotiate your fucking salary. Now, if they don't take it upon themselves to actually fucking step up and be like, hey, you have me already doing this much of a workload per my contract. You want me to add this on? We need to rediscuss and renegotiate what my salary is going to be henceforth.
Yeah, like what type of duties am I going to be doing, and like if I'm going to be doing more, then you got to promote me or something.
Yeah,
I don't
especially
know.
if it's
Yeah.
a salary thing. I'm on salary for A, B, and C, but you're bringing in D, E, F, and G. I need to be compensated for that accordingly.
Hell yeah.
Otherwise, I'm doing all that extra work for free. Now, if it was like an hourly thing, yes, still discuss your raise, but you really don't have that much of a leg to stand on as coming from working both a salary based and an hourly based job. Um, I've had to deal with that situation a couple times, and a couple times I've had to walk away
Hmm.
from what I consider to be decent money
Hmm.
because I wasn't getting paid enough for the workload they were trying to add on.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you also hear that saying, how do the rich get richer? Well, they do shit like this.
Yep.
They kind of
Mhm.
make cuts everywhere they can. Brandon Thurston and WrestleNomics also reported that they tried to get a comment from WWE. Obviously, no response by WWE. No surprise there. I don't think we will get one, or I don't think we'll hear one when it comes to this. But when it comes to just like the tickets, the complimentary tickets being taken away, which is one of the bigger complaints that seems to be going around. The guess is that WWE might come back and say, well, our tickets are in really high demand right now. We're selling out arenas left and right. We don't really have tickets to hand out or to give away anymore,
Mhm.
which that seems to be most likely going to be one of the responses if we ever hear
Well, let's
anything from the WWE.
I mean, let's look at that critically though. If you're an employee, an office of employee of the WWE, what are the chances that you're trying to get free tickets to every show around the country? It's like surely they could afford to say, okay, when we're in Connecticut, here are some free fucking tickets. It's not like people are trying to fly to every Monday Night Raw and cop free tickets.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, there's
Yeah.
certain cities, if me for example, if I was working for them and if I went to like LA, if I was flying with them constantly, or like San Antonio or North Carolina, like I have family in those places. It would be cool to have that option. Hey, if we're gonna be in Charlotte, let me get like 2 tickets. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, maybe like that, but I mean, they're saying our tickets are in high demand and we can't be giving them away all over the place. I don't see how it would be all over the place.
well, the WWE hasn't actually said that, but that's one of the guesses that WrestleNomics is assuming that they will say when it comes to the complimentary tickets.
Oh
That
yeah, I'm
that's
just I'm just
yeah,
analyzing that statement. I'm not criticizing the reporting. I'm just saying
Mhm.
if they did say that, we really need to look at that critically because it makes no sense.
yeah. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much what's we pretty much covered everything as far as when it comes to this. Well, hopefully, I'd like to hear more about this. Hopefully, we get more answers or more information when it comes to this.
Yeah.
But when it does, definitely bring it back to the table, and we'll go over it, reanalyze everything, and go from there. Um, but I gotta say, now if this was one of those things that was affecting talent, it'd have been a lot bigger of a deal than it would be if it was the office employees.
Sure.
I know for a fact if I don't get my free plus one at a show that I fucking work, there's major problems. Because again, that well, and Dark can attest to this. Whenever we've worked a show, a legitimate show, let me put the word legitimate in front of the word show. One of our perks, and it's one of those unspoken rules, is every worker will get a plus one to get it for free. Now, if you're good friends with the promoter or the booker or something, and you got like, say, I got my wife and three kids, they'll probably just eat that and be like, all right, yeah, let the kids into it. That's cool, whatever. But if I get to a show and we've discussed this, and I get there and they're trying to make me pay for everybody,
Yeah.
that's not going to work for me, dog. Especially if I'm doing this show at a discounted rate, doing a favor for a friend of yours that's a friend
Mm-hmm.
of mine. Yeah, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah, it seems really petty. They also have this thing, or they used to have this thing called the WWE Superstar Program, which was also in this list of things that they got rid of for the employees. And this was like a recognition program within the employees to reward each other with points that they can later redeem for cash bonuses, gift cards, or experiences, whatever that means. But like it
Probably like
seems like
VIP, probably like VIP.
but it just seems like something so minimal, like something like they just do for fun type thing, for the office. And you can't even do that. But going back to like the ticket things, I still see a whole bunch of videos of people getting free tickets, somehow. I think it's like probably like some make a wish thing or something. Oh, are you going to WrestleMania? Well, would you like to go? Here's four
Well, I
free
mean,
tickets for you and your
Well,
family.
I
if
can
they can
understand if it's something like Make a Wish.
if they can write it off as a charitable donation, then sure,
Yep.
because they're still getting some benefit. But let's not be fooled. In order for as long as I've been alive, in order to make TV look full, they've been giving away tickets forever.
Or have seat fillers
Hmm.
Right.
or ever.
Like like WCW, it's legendary how many tickets Bischoff gave away
Mm-hmm.
because they just cared about TV ratings. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so it just it's really I don't know, especially considering their now if they had offices and employees all over the country, maybe it would be a big deal. But I don't see why the ticket thing, and even the bonus structure that you were talking about. Like, how do you take that away? How do you take away the motivation?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, that's what it is. It's just it's a literally it's called a recognition program is what they called it. Like they can't even do that within the company anymore. That's crazy to me.
well, if
Oh,
we're
but
ready to
yeah.
move on, we can throw it to a commercial and then come back. Unless you got anything else to say about this topic.
Nah,
Um,
I'm good.
I'll close it with this, and it's like I said earlier. To me, this doesn't sound like it's a WWE call. This sounds like a TKO call. But until the WWE higher ups stand up for their employees and say something, nothing's going to change. In fact, it will probably get worse before it gets better.
Well, the problem is they probably didn't say you have to get rid of this, and this. They probably said we need your bottom line to come in lower than this number, and I guarantee you it was WWE management that decided what things to cut to meet that number.
I don't necessarily think that was WWE management. I think that was basically the overall saying this is what needs to happen.
It would be kind of rare. I mean, I'm just saying that.
Yeah, for them to cut something so minute as a recognition thing just to give initiative to his employees, yeah, that don't seem like a WWE management call.
They're a publicly traded company now.
They were a publicly traded company years before they had this going in until they got taken over by TKO.
I know, but I don't think that they, like I said, they might have told them that they need to cut X amount of dollars from their budget, but I don't see the holding company coming in and saying, okay, you got to cut these particular things that completely fuck your employees. Like they probably could have cut a couple of talent instead. I don't know.
They did that too recently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's also look at the other side of the coin, and this is something that Edgar can look into for the next couple of weeks. Has the UFC side of TKO had to deal with similar issues since the merger?
That's a good question. Yeah, I can look into that.
Cool.
All right.
But remember, Endeavor had already gone through and did their Scorched Earth before WWE was even around.
Well, that gives Edgar a little bit more to look into.
I mean, they were coming. They cut like some of the most popular fighters because of their purse. So it's.
But I'm not even. I'm talking about their office employees, just like we're talking about the WWE's office employees.
I know what you mean.
You know, it gives Edgar something to do because God knows Elwood's been on fucking vacation for fucking 3 weeks and he ain't fucking put his fucking request off.
Elwood.
I'm docking his yen when he gets back. I hope you know this.
Right.
He gets yen?
Somehow.
Lucky son of a gun. Nah.
Yen, ruble, blood diamonds. I saw some Canadian pennies in there when he threw the money.
Yeah. I think there was a buffalo head nickel in there somewhere.
That's mine. That's mine.
See, there you go. Already trying to screw the staff.
Screwing the employees.
No, just the one.
I know. All right, guys. Let's throw it to a commercial and then come back and talk something else. We'll be right back.